This is the AM News. Welcome to the program. Details now. The majority leadership say claims by the NDC that the government is illegally recruiting NPP foot soldiers into the security agencies are just attempts by the NDC to inflame tension ahead of the 2024 election. Minority Leader Dr. Kasela Toforson alleged on Monday, without providing evidence, that all NPP parliamentary candidates have been given 30 slots each to pack the security agencies. Addressing journalists in Parliament, Deputy Majority Leader Patricia PJ warned the NDC against false claims that could destabilize the country's peace and security.
The claims by Dr. Kasela Toforson, the minority leader, are a deliberate distortion of reality and a malicious fabrication aimed at undermining the integrity of the government. Such allegations serve only to provoke unwarranted tensions and foster an environment of mistrust and political rivalry that our country does not need. Our respected Interior Minister, the Honorable Korte, has already outlined the government's recruitment strategy, which focuses on giving a second chance to qualified Ghanaians who previously applied but were not selected. This approach is not only fair, but also thoughtful, avoiding unnecessary financial burdens on applicants by not reopening the recruitment process widely. We urge the minority to refrain from spreading misinformation and to respect the intelligence of the Ghanaian public. Such tactics are beneath the dignity of our democratic processes and could potentially endanger the peace and the security of our nation.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has conceded that despite the myriad of challenges the Free Senior High School program is going through, it has, however, been able to take care of over 1 million students at the senior high school who otherwise would have dropped out. Interacting with members of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs and Queen Mothers, he disclosed the maize from poor background of students benefiting from the program, of poor background and from the 5 regions of the North. Joy News Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia began his last day of his 2-day campaign tour of the Upper West region with a breakfast meeting with the leadership of the clergy to inform them about his vision for the country. He enumerated over 30 policies that he has carried out as vice president, which are of enormous benefit to the people. On the free senior school policy, he stated that despite the challenges that it has been dealt with, but it has gotten millions of students into senior high schools which otherwise would have dropped out. He disclosed that the 5 northern regions are the biggest beneficiaries of the policy.
Perfect. They still have issues to deal with it, there's no doubt about it. But one of the things I like about it has increased opportunities to go to school. In 2016, you had only 800,000 students in senior high school. 800,000. That means for the 60 years of independence from 1957 to 2016, 60 years of independence, you have 800,000 population in senior high school.
Away from that, the chiefs and people of Achiame traditional area are calling for a peaceful coexistence among the leadership of the various traditional areas in Anglo State. They insisted that traditional leaders should focus on the development of their various areas as envisioned by the Awomafia Togbi Sri III. Togbi Kasu III from Gafia, Kota, made this known when he addressed a press conference at Dagbamate.
Togbi Kasu explained that Chiame and some 15 other traditional areas were created with their respective chiefs elevated to the paramount chief status in 2016. He therefore questioned the intention of some chiefs to undermine their compatriots who had been elevated to supersede the development of their areas.
It is significant for us to state that Togbi III, in his wisdom, and as bestowed on him by the customary and traditional settings of Anglo, decided to create paramountcies and traditional areas in Anglo so as to bring development to the communities and to the doorsteps of the people.
He explained that the Chiame traditional area and its leader, Togbi Samalafu, have long existed and were identified during the colonial era.
To set the record straight, Togbi Samalafu was recognized as first war captain from Aveno with 600 fighting men in the Quitas Political Conference Report number 14/85, dated 18th June 1885. Please see Appendix 4. This was tendered in court and was never challenged nor contested. Togbi Samalafu's name has been appearing in the Gold Coast Chief list with the earliest productions by the colonial administration.
Ifatov claims that two traditional areas cannot be in a district, and also a traditional leader cannot owe allegiance to another in a different district or region.
There is no law that a paramountcy must be contiguous. Vuma traditional area and Tefle traditional area are two good examples. It is unknowledgeable and untutored to hold the idea that a paramountcy in a traditional area cannot owe allegiance to another stool in a different traditional area, council, or region. The law allows this. A case in point is the new Joben stool in Eastern region, owing allegiance to Golden stool in Ashanti region. It is worth mentioning the examples of the stools in Abesim in the Sunyani municipality and Chair in the Sunyani West district that owe allegiance to Doma stool in faraway Doma Hinkru.
Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Dagbamate.
And now, 2023 Joy News Impact Maker winner for the Bono region, Jefferson Kwasi Agbotro, and his organization, the Friends of Health Association, have rescued some mothers at the Sunyani Teaching Hospital and Sunyani Municipal Hospital by paying their medical bills. Speaking at the hospital, Ms. Agbotro said more needs to be done to ensure mothers and babies do not suffer additional burdens for their inability to honor their bills. He called for more support for the vulnerable. Precious Semevo has more.
The
joy of 10 mothers at the Sunyani Teaching and Municipal Hospitals in the Bono region. The mothers were rescued by the Friends of Health Association FOHA from their frustrations at the hospitals when they could not offset their medical bills after being discharged. The Chief Executive of FOHA and 2023 Joy News Impact Maker winner for the Bono region, Jefferson Kwasi Agbotro, said it is a call to duty to support the vulnerable in the society and therefore appealed for more support to enable them rescue more of such mothers.
We are looking at people who cannot afford because their parents are either not around without even a husband, and these are the most vulnerable people that we are looking at. And health and wellness is something that all of us must prioritize, that babies and children should not suffer in the hospital because they cannot pay their bills. The sickness itself is a problem. You have been discharged and you cannot pay your bill. So that one alone imposes another burden. So the social welfare contacted me, and I have to work it out, and we have been able to secure this support to help them. We are getting more people coming on board. We are making a case with the data that we have asking and soliciting for more funding, because this must not end here. So we want to expand to other facilities, especially in the hard-to-reach areas.
The Principal Social Development Officer at the teaching hospital, Diana Azuma, said patients owe the facility over 80,000 Ghana cedis.
The bills that are at our outfit right now is up to 80,000 that people have gone home and have not been able to pay. You call them to and they are not coming back to pay because they don't have it to be able to support the needy clients in the hospitals. So we plead that anytime someone think of donating, we are also here.
Acting Director of Administration of the Sunyani Teaching Hospital, Samuel Doji, in appreciating the gesture of FOHA, said the health insurance scheme is there to reduce patients' financial burden. He encouraged Ghanaians to register.
We do have a lot of patients that visit the hospital and are unable to settle their bills. And most of these patients too, they come without health insurance. So when they are discharged, payment of their bills becomes an issue. If you have health insurance and you patronize our services, I mean, you go home without paying anything, unless those that are not covered. But most of the services we provide, they are covered by health insurance. So I will encourage people, as Ghanaians, that this is a very good government initiative. So let's register with it, and some of these things will be avoided.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, Sunyani.
The Central Regional Health Directorate is urging health professionals in the region to treat hospital clients with the same care they would wish for their own relatives. According to the Health Directorate, such an approach addresses half of the client's challenges and enhances the reputation of healthcare facilities. Speaking at the 50th anniversary of the Elmina Polyclinic in the Central Region, Acting Central Regional Health Directorate, Dr. Agnes Anani, praised the facility for setting higher standards in patients' care. There's more in this Abdullah Usman's report, read to you.
The then Elmina Health Post was built by the people of Elmina, and since then, the facility has provided health service for the people of the Commander Edna Iguafu and the people of Elmina themselves. Through dint of hard work, sacrifices and dedication, the facility has grown from a health post to an urban health center and now a polyclinic. Speaking at the Golden Jubilee of the facility, Acting Central Regional Health Director, Dr. Agnes Anani, urged health professionals to do unto others what they want others to do unto them, so the country would have a better healthcare system that could stand the test of time.
This is service delivery and a service to mankind. We should try to have that compassion that everybody who visits a facility need. The way you want your relatives to be treated in other facilities, you should ensure that you do the same for our clients. If we let the system work perfectly, there will be no need to contact anybody when your relatives are going to facilities. Most of the time, when we are here working, but if our relatives are going to another facility, you want to make calls to ensure that they are best taken care of. The question is that if service delivery is up to the standard that we all want it to be, we will not make those calls. Therefore, as we launch this 50th anniversary, if there's anything that we have to take home, you should know that customer care for any facility is the ultimate. And we really need to ensure that we give that kind of customer care to our clients.
Medical Superintendent of the Elmina Polyclinic, Dr. Felix Darby, praised the communal spirit and support that have positioned where the hospital is at the moment.
Elmina Polyclinic's transformation over the past 50 years is a true example of a community working together to improve their own lives and taking charge of their own destiny. It is these efforts that has led to all the current services being provided, including our OPD services with specialized clinics like the dental clinic, the eye clinic, ENT, dietetics, including inpatient care with reliable oxygen, emergency services, and maternity services with cervical cancer screening, laboratory services, a blood bank, ultrasound units, pharmaceutical service, and soon to be added surgical services. Without the support of our stakeholders, none of this would have been possible, and I wish to sincerely appreciate all of us gathered here.
Representing the head of local government service, Dr. Nano Atuata, was Blessed Kwame Dake.
In the era where people are complaining about demeanor of our nurses and other health personnel, I see Elmina Polyclinic staff as a wonderful staff.
The management of the facility lauded the collaboration between the community and the hospital that has led to significant changes in the facility. It is their hope that the Golden Jubilee celebration will spur the facility on to achieve higher prospects. Abdallah Osman's report read to you.
The World Food Programme and the Ghana Meteorological Agency have inaugurated climate-conscious clubs in 10 senior high schools in the OT region. The club is to promote green climate-conscious generation and ensure healthy cultural practices that would ensure a safer environment. There's more in the following report.
10 senior high schools in the OT region have had green climate clubs inaugurated in their schools to ensure the environment remains greener for a healthy living and mitigate climate change effects on the environment. According to the World Food Programme, climate change could affect food security and increase hunger and malnutrition up to 20% by 2050. Hence, the need to inculcate into the younger generation climate-sensitive habits.
Climate change and climate-related disasters and shocks pose a particular threat to food security and nutrition. Findings from the 5th assessment report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change indicate that climate change could increase the risk of hunger and malnutrition up to 20% by 2050.
The United Nations Food Programme says the OT region is strategic for their launch this year because it is currently benefiting from its interventions in the agricultural sector and would help sustain the gains made so far.
The World Food Programme considers the choice of OT region as very strategic and prudent because it is one of the regions that are currently benefiting from most of our interventions. Equipping these young ones with the requisite knowledge and skills to combat the effect of climate change is in the right direction, as it will lead to sustaining the investment made in the region. It is our hope and belief that these young ones will be the agents of change in their schools, communities, and Ghana at large. That these young ones will lead the campaign and war against climate change and help their parents to adopt climate-smart agricultural practices.
For the Ghana Meteorological Agency, there is low awareness and sensitization of climate issues among the youth.
One key development which the agency discovered in addressing climate and weather-related issues is the lack of sensitization among the youth. The opportunities to address this issue gave birth to the concept and formation of green climate clubs in high schools. The Green Climate Clubs seeks to give immense support to specific high school students to gain deeper knowledge and understanding on climate sustainability and environmental development.
For the Environmental Protection Agency, government and its agencies must go beyond the pageantry of planting trees to ensuring the trees are nurtured to ensure value for the investments made.
My concern is that the tree nurturing, it is what we have to talk about. You plant many trees. You have to make sure that you have a group, or there should be a group where they are interested in taking care of the trees is what we are interested in. EPA is interested in the number of trees which survive so that they can serve as carbon sink, not the pump and pageantry where we say we have going to plant this number of trees. At the end of the day, nobody goes in there, takes care of the trees, and all the trees die.
Peter Sanu for Joy News.
Coming up next is Business Update.
Well, thanks for staying for the business update. In our first story, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, is challenging claims that the country is losing out as a preferred place for doing business. This follows the exit of some multinational companies which have cited a challenging business environment as a major factor. But Mr. Grant argues that though some have gone out due to strategic reasons, some more firms are coming into the country.
Well, I mean, definitely everybody wants investors in their country. And as some are leaving, there are some coming. We seem to forget that. I mean, we've
more coming when others who are interested in this country are relocating.
They are not necessarily relocating. They are probably changing their business model and relocating some parts of their businesses where they feel there are easier things. But you mentioned tax. I'm sure you are aware of the Global Tax Convention. Yeah. That now, I mean, the minimum tax you pay anywhere in the world should be 15%. So that in itself will sort of equalize where you decide to locate. But, like I said, opportunity, stability, peace, rule of law are such strong pull factors that even though some may have been here for many years and are now really looking and say, okay, maybe we should move our manufacturing to X and do our logistics in Ghana because it's more advantageous to do it here. Those are all parts of the equation. But, I mean, definitely, we want more investors here because in the absence of bigger revenues from taxation and borrowing, the next area you're going to look is to bring investors in because they are the ones who are going to create the businesses that are going to employ people. So it's important. It's very, very important. And now we are constantly in talks with the Ministry of Finance.
In our next story, the German Development Bank, operating in Ghana through the KfW, has expressed its commitment to work closely with the Development Bank of Ghana to help in the stabilization and modernization of the Ghanaian financial system. According to the bank, by setting the right incentives for innovation, SMEs can thrive and compete globally. Speaking to Joy Business, the KfW country director, Arndt Wehrheim, said they were poised to support the right framework conditions to develop the most efficient and effective solutions for the Ghanaian economy.
The German Development Bank, we are operating in Ghana on behalf of the German Financial Corporation. In our close collaboration with DBG, we are supporting the stabilization and modernization of the Ghanaian financial ecosystem. We expect that by setting the right incentives for innovation, more SMEs can be financially supported. Enablers or facilitators such as KfW and DBG need to support the right framework conditions so that the market can develop the most efficient and effective solutions for the Ghanaian economy. Those solutions don't have to be the same as elsewhere, but must respond to the needs here while increase exchange with other countries in Africa and the world.
And that's it for the business news, the business updates this morning. Back to you, Sweetie Abochi.
Well, and on that note, we're wrapping up for the AM News. Up next, of course, is the newspaper review segment. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.